really let go of their exes? That there's still some kind of like connection.
I believe, let me just use this. I believe personally that 60% of the women don't let go of
Don't let go.
their, they don't let go. They are still sticking around with them. Just let the ex just pick a phone and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm in town. Can we say?" Even if she's married,
Welcome to GG Podcast, the podcast where we call out the chaos and uncomfortable truths one at a time. I'm Dara, your host, Rand Bunny, and your favorite cringe creator. And today we got in the studio someone special, a fanatic, a major in computer science, the one and only Dangote. So please introduce yourself.
um, her name is popularly called Dangote, a student of computer science today. Uh, I'm very privileged to be hosted to this podcast. Um, I'll try my best. I honestly whatever that we're about to discuss. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share.
Yes, like, hit the subscribe button and relax. Today is going to be an amazing experience. Our topic today is: should sex before marriage be a taboo in Nigeria? Yes. So, what's your take on this topic, sir?
Okay. When we talk about sex entirely in Africa, let's use Africa before we come to Nigeria. I think our rotation about it in Africa, other part of the world, are two different. They are
Okay.
like two parallel lines that does not meet. When you go to the Western world, they barely don't see it as anything. But when you come to Africa, we take it as something special and we kind of uh, prioritize it to an extent. Now, when you come to Nigeria, where we stay, this I'm very familiar with Nigerian concept about it. You can't categorically ask this question on a plain ground. Why? Nigeria have a lot of ethnic groups in it. Secondly, there are a lot of personal opinion that is being influenced by either your religious belief, either by your upbringing, your personal orientation of what you want to do, and generally the concept of it biological. So when you bring this idea up and ask such questions, the first thing I think that we should do is to disintegrate this question according to each of these points I mentioned earlier.
Okay. Getting there, yes, we factioned out the questions into religious aspects, medical aspects, and also morals. So getting there, let's start from the religious aspects. This is a question. The Bible says in Hebrew 13:14, marriage should be honored by all and marriage bed kept pure. Does this mean that sex before marriage is a sin?
Uh, if we come from the religious background, you just bring a portion from the Bible, which I am a Christian and I believe you are. We also fail to understand that we still have the Muslims, we still have the traditional worshippers out there. But let's take it from those concepts. Bible categorically says sex outside marriage
Is sin. Okay.
pure. You can't add, you can't remove from it. And as a Christian, you are supposed, in fact, it's a must for you to observe that. You can't be a Christian and you decide what to believe in and what not to believe outside the Bible. So if Bible said this is a sin, as a Christian you have to also call it a sin. So in terms of religious aspect, and I believe no religion supports that. The Muslim people can support that. If you even go to the traditional aspect, you will see that most times when they do ritual, they tell them you can't stay with when you're done, it's only your wife. A lot of all these things. So if we check it, no religion really uphold it.
But when it comes to the traditional aspect, they don't oppose these laws towards the men. It's mostly like for the women, because I can see from the village I'm from, there's this tradition that binds the women from cheating, but it doesn't affect the man.
Yes, the traditional aspect of it, I believe that tradition does not give equal rights to men and women. I think this should be a topic of another day. But when you come to this aspect, they said, you said from your own village. Though from my village, I don't think most people practice that religious stuff anymore. So they are more like obeying the Christian aspect. Vito, from the southeast here.
So we are saying to be a true Christian, we shouldn't practice sex before
Yes,
marriage.
that is not.
Okay. Another question from the religious sector. Are churches focusing more on shaming people than helping them understand sex in a godly way? Because you can see from viral videos that we watch these days, they don't really tell people how you should be. Because I know satisfying, if you don't satisfy your partner, certain things can lead to divorce and stuff like that. So, in my own opinion, are you not allowed to like, if you go to the market, you want to get something, are you not allowed to like, okay, you want to buy rice, you feel the grain of rice you want to have, does that not apply to this? Or to get married, my sexual appeal, should I know if my wife has high libido, stuff like that?
Okay. Now, well, this we are still on the Christian aspect. So I think we have to make this straight. People keep bringing these ideas. In fact, there was a time I also uh, talked about it. Now, when you come to the Christian aspect, you made mention of tell people about sex.
Yes, like
Yeah.
sex education, they
Yes.
should
Now,
more.
I believe that we, the Christians, we don't really focus on making people understand sex entirely, how it should. Rather, I think we focus on shaming them, making them maybe people that had it before marriage or people that commit fornication. We make them feel like they are outside Christ already instead of helping them understand their way back to Christ. Now, in terms of feeding, you said when you go to market, you feel the rice,
Yeah,
survive.
I know people that use that instant.
Yes, people use that a lot. But when it comes to marriage, I believe that we all know what they call courtship.
Okay.
Now, courtship is where people tends to uh, communicate and understand themselves better. I think if courtship is a room for you people to discuss, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't tell your wife, I have highly. But for example, if people abstain from sex outside marriage, nobody should know whether they have highly.
High libido or no
So
libido.
if you people just start from a fresh start and nobody will know what is high or low. Is when you have done it before and constant practicing with people of high expectation, low expectation, it tends to build desire that your partner cannot handle or something like that. So I believe that people that observe it from birth do not practice till they get married, you won't have a problem because they don't know how it feels, they don't know how it is. It's just the experience they start with marriage, they start. So they don't like you. Now, if you are no longer, you have been doing it before you want to get married, you have to ask your partner first. Are you sexually active? These are where you have to understand that if the two of you are no longer virgin and you to discuss, which you have to tell you, okay, me, I am this, I can go maybe 2 times a week or 3 times a week. And so okay, I can go like 4 times a week. Two of you can decide to adjust to an average. Not that it will stick to that. Sometimes you can go higher, lower, but better
Okay, so she says in, depending on the mood and
you don't
communicate more.
you don't need to feel anything as a thing.
Okay.
Whereas,
She's she's not a commodity. Okay, okay. Moving on to the medical aspect. When this topic is being discussed, many people use like many men I know use prostate cancer to be an example why they involve themselves in premarital sexual activities. And from the research I made, eh, it has been shown 16, a major study was published in European Urology, followed nearly 32,000 men over the age of 18. They found out that men who ejaculate 21 or more per month had a significant lower risk of developing prostate cancer than men who ejaculated 4 months or haven't ejaculated at all. So, bringing on to the prostate cancer parts, automatically they said it helps from the research I made. So, is it that we should continue having sex to avoid prostate cancer, or we should still abstain?
okay, in this aspect, and I think we are done with the religious aspect. Yeah, now we are coming to biological. Generally, I think sex biologically is something that has proven to help in some areas, just like creation.
Stress relief,
Stress
stuff like
relief,
that.
a
Yes.
whole lot of all that benefits that come with it. Also, there was other. negative aspect. You know that science does not forbid things. Science works with certain advantage and disadvantage. Science will not categorically tell you, say, don't do this, do this. Rather, they will tell you that if you do this, these are the advantage and these are the
Disadvantage.
just like when you talk about sugar, the advantage and disadvantage. You understand? Now, science is a proven fact. Science does not lie. You understand?
Yes.
When they come about this prostate cancer, we can't rule out the part that's play in reducing it. If statistics shows that yes, having sex reduces it, I think there should be a better approach to to view this sex affected biologically. First of all, if you check, there is age, there is a start age that a man is expected to start being sexually active. Now, in a developed country where their system works, I believe that all of them by that age should have started working and can legally get married. Do you understand? And then continue with the biological aspect of this and reduce the chances of cancer. But in this part of the country where we don't have such system, that even at 35, somebody is still struggling to feel up more of getting married and settling down for all this type of thing. Now, in this aspect, we can say that yes, they may use it to say I engage in it because of this. When they said it, if you view it religiously, it does not justify it. But when you view it biologically, they are justified. As long as they do it on consent with the person they're having it, I think they are justified.
So you're saying that in Nigeria it shouldn't be banned or what? Like she mentioned of the Western world and said, yeah, because things work there for them.
Yeah.
At 18, you can be able to get a job, get married, stuff like that. But in Nigeria, you can see men of 35 over 40 years, still nothing to show for it. And ladies these days don't want to associate with men like that. So should they, because you know of, am I allowed to use this word, kanji? You know what it does to people? You know how men feel. So are they expected to still abstain? Are you advising them to abstain? Because from the study, from the report I just read, you know, they said men who ejaculate 21 or more per month have lower risk of getting the prostate cancer. So are you advising us that even though we have had this particular report from renowned doctors, we should still abstain?
Um, on this concept now, this has to do, that's when I now said earlier, I mentioned something like personal approach. Now, on my own general view, if you ask me if we should abstain or not from these statistics,
Yes.
I will not categorically say stop or don't stop. Do you understand? I
Okay.
cannot categorically tell you this due to my own personal belief and all that. And I can't use my own personal belief or conviction about this to now project it on people and said, go ahead and continue.
No, we are not saying that they should go ahead, but
Yes.
just tell us what you feel.
Okay, on my own conviction, if I am to make this decision personally, I don't think I will put a restriction on myself, knowing fully well that I do this, I have the chances of lowering my possibility of having this.
Prostate cancer. So you're saying yes, you do involve.
Personally, me, I will, as long as within myself, I have no negative feeling over it, and I'm comfortable with it.
Okay.
So everyone should accept themselves.
Okay. Another question: is it dangerous to preach abstinence without giving sexual health education?
Oh, before we go on that, what do you mean by sexual health?
Like you tell the people now, because I know in some countries like let's say US, they do have sex education classes, sex ED, where they do show them stuffs. I don't know because Nigeria is a very religious country. Like you said, we have many ethnic groups. So certain religions don't allow it. Let's say like Islamic religion doesn't allow their girl child to watch all those stuffs. Christianity does not allow. But you know when you enlighten somebody, because what most African parents tell you is don't hear a man, you'll get pregnant. They don't tell you the activities involved. They don't, but when you get old, they expect you to like, when you get old, they expect you to like get married. How is that possible?
No, I believe that there is the constitution gives every 18-year-old person permission to be an adult. And I believe that the school curriculum already included this sex education, our education system.
So it's currently in Nigeria.
Yes, currently. Why they have been teaching it. Even well, I can remember when I was in secondary school, I think it was SS1, SS2, we are taught something like that. We are taught about it, about the sex education, and also brought it up. Even when we discuss biology, we are being taught biology in school. One of the
Being taught biology is different from sex education. As in biology, they teach you reproductive organs, the diagram, but they don't tell you the activity.
now the sex education I'm talking about, even it has been a major global concern now that people, even parents, should adopt this approach of teaching their children about sex education, because there is a lot of lies behind. If you near a man,
You get pregnant, they don't tell you what it's involved.
they don't teach them what is involved, why they should avoid the man. You understand? And a whole lot of things. And I believe that most of them that say these things to their children are mainly because they can't fend for themselves. Talk more of having another person having it on first. Second, we have this reputation we want to preserve. We are a chief does not want the daughters to bring shame to him by getting unwanted pregnancy and all that. I think all these good teachings are mainly for the parents.
To educate their child.
Yeah, they normally put those, if you near a man, you get pregnant and all that, without proper teaching, because they know that the benefit, the reason they are saying it is for their own benefit, not for the child. Now, where you will know for the child is when you start teaching about the sex education. You have to be very plain, very raw, teaching them, telling them the advantage and disadvantage before you now conclude it with an advice for them.
Okay, but will you be comfortable as a father? Let's say you give birth to the future and they are teaching your child, okay, this is blue job or this is hand job in school. Like these are things, sex education. Let's say they are telling them, okay, this time missionary sex 6 9. Will you be comfortable with their your
I believe that this sex education have stages. I believe by 16 there should be a particular
curriculum for them?
for the 16-year. When they approach to 18, there should be a frame for an 18-year-old. Or do you understand? Then why they approach? But now we are in a world where everybody have access to it. All this information. Even before they start even in school, I believe that most of these diseases have already
Made, yeah,
have already known it all.
because you know men of
Because
they
what
make what sexual advices to like young people. So
what the Gen Z knows about sex, and I don't think the older generation knows about it. In fact, I believe that they are even now producing more of the knowledge to the tossy the older generations. So, me as a father, I don't think I will have a problem if the framework for the
aligns with
their age, the
age.
framework align with their age.
Okay, okay. Thank you. And now we are off to the moral aspects. Hmm. Why is virginity still seen as a woman's value in Nigeria, but not so much for man? Like in this aspect there, like a man can be proud to say, I'm not a virgin, I'm not a virgin. But once a woman says it, it seems like the whole world is coming to an end. Like the stigmatization, the stuffs like that, you get what I'm saying. So why is it seen like that? What's your opinion on this?
You know that when you talk about this virginity, the woman cannot be this virgin. Uh, 80% of the time a woman is being this virgin by the men, if we put it that way. Woman, except an issue where they don't, studies suggest that women that participate in sport, ride horses, and get their hymen broken.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But once a woman is sexually broken, I believe that it happened with the opposite sex, 80%.
So
Say 80%, but not say 100. We now have sex toys that women can use on them. Now, when we talk about this stigmatization of it,
yes, the purity shame, like this person is not under a virgin,
you
kinika.
know that there is this thing with psychology. Are you getting? Men categorically can have sex with anyone without having emotional attachment. Oh, it. Do you understand? A man can just be horny and just approach a lady, and then that is it. And once he's done, he might not actually feel that lady again, except when he's horny again and she's the only available person. But in terms of a lady does not go down with a random person. She goes with who she's secured with, who she's comfortable with, who she's feeling. Now, when all these things are in play, after she's done it, she still have this feeling left for that person. So when people wants to marry her, they see her as somebody whom other people have been using. You understand? This so that fear that if I marry her, this person should still have feeling with this last person. And that person can easily come in the land.
Just like you are saying, someone else is claiming rights to your property already.
Something like that. Because
Oh,
if
try
we have
very-
emotional connection with that person, person can easily have his highway to you while you are married to her. Now, but I think
So you say women don't really let go of their exes. That there's still some kind of like connection.
I believe, let me just use this. I believe personally that 60% of the women that
Don't let go.
they don't let go. They are still sticking around you there. Just let the ex just pick a phone and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm in town. Can we say?" Even if she's married, it takes only a
Still why I advise don't
to say,
when you and your ex break up, don't ever have connection. Delete that idiot's number.
most of them won't. Sometimes once the guy reach out,
Oh, they are hoping for the guy to come back.
because one thing is that when they are married with their partner, at some point they will have these difficulties that they are facing.
Wait. Continue.
They will have these difficulties they are facing with their partner, and they will, the ex being not in the picture already knows how to calm the woman down. So when he comes into the picture at that particular time, there is 80% chance that what has been happening between them will happen. But now we can't go by judging the woman that way, because I believe that the way men prioritize their sexual urge, the women are
Should
supposed to
they are human beings? They should have rights.
yes,
Stuff like that.
have right to perform or do whatever they want to.
So you don't encourage purity shame.
I don't encourage shaming anyone.
Okay, that's good. Up to the next question. Do you think helping? Do you think keeping sex as a taboo protects values or just causes secrecy and shame?
You know that when you talk about sex and fire, this sex of right there,
Yeah.
this is a personal thing that when somebody stays, at some point you feel that you want it. If it is not that good, it wouldn't be included in the marriage curriculum entirely. Do you understand? Even outside it, let's be very honest with us. The people who have engaged in knows that it is actually nice. Let's put it that way. But now, when you talk about the issue of uh, does it encourage moral or kind of encourage secrecy?
Secrecy and shame.
Yes, it encourages it because just from instance, when you see an infant growing up, just tell her, a growing up child, don't near this fire. Keep her and watch her go near the fire. Bring her out, keep her, watch her go. When you are not looking, watch them go to put their hand.
Curiosity. I want to know what. Okay, why is this person chasing me away from this thing? What's so wrong? Okay.
And when they have it, with the concept that the society have victimized this, have made it a shameful thing, will make them not to come up.
So let's speak about
And this has actually made a lot of our ladies, the young girls that lost their womb or died during abortion. Because when they engage in it, no proper sex education to tell them, okay, even if you want to engage, you must go with protection and all that. No, they just went and tested, and coincidentally, unfortunately, they get pregnant. They fear and they want to keep it secret. Many of them engage in all kinds of traditional mixtures to just flush the thing out, and eventually that lost their womb or their eventual, just because they want to cover that shame, cover that secret, because the society does not give them the right or the privilege or the chance to open up and
in
say
Africa, right? In Nigeria.
in Nigeria. Because if you go to other parts of the world, I believe that
They don't sexually
they
people.
don't shame people. People who are of age for it, go for it. And when they are out, anything that comes out of it, they take responsibility for it.
Okay.
The Constitution allows them there.
Okay. Thank you for your opinion. As you can see, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so now. Tune in every day at 6 p.m. Saturday sharp for more episodes like this. I'm still your favorite host, Dara, your rant bunny, and your favorite cringe creator. Thank you for watching.